And this is really the tape I'm about to show you is the tape that made me know something about trauma. And it started when a bunch of people in my clinic started to do EMDR. How many people in this room do EMDR? A small minority. I can't blame for the other people in the room to not do EMDR, because it's a very weird and bizarre treatment. You ask people to call up their memories of what happened, what they saw, what they heard, what they were thinking, and you ask them to follow your eyes, your hands, as you move them back and forth in front of their eyes. And do that for a while, and then you stop it, you ask what comes up, it sets up a sort of dreamlike state, and people form new associations, and you just keep doing that sort of weird waving your finger in front of people's eyes. And my postdocs were telling me that after about 3 or 4 sessions, many people had resolved their trauma. And I was a young, ambitious professor at Harvard Medical School, and I said, stop that shit immediately. This is another crazy cult-like thing that people do on a regular basis, and stop it. But they happened to be some of the smartest people in my clinic, and they secretly kept doing it. And some of my patients started to go to EMDR, and they came back. And let me give you an example of a person who was a great inspiration. I had a patient who was a PhD psychologist who ran a group home for sexually abused adolescents who also herself had a history of sexual abuse. And she was referred to me by an old supervisor who I did not really think liked me. So I was very surprised that old supervisor sent this woman to me. And it turned out this woman was a very abrasive, angry woman who had called her therapist 12 times the C word, the only forbidden word in the English language, to her therapist. And at the end of that session, the therapist said to her, I think we're not a good match. I know somebody who you probably should go to. So she came to my doorstep, and she couldn't call me a C, because it would have been inappropriate to my gender. And she came into a group with me, and was smart and funny and abrasive and in your face, and I sort of liked her. A little hard to take sometimes. And then one day she comes back to the group, and she said, I did an EMDR training, and I have to tell you what happened to me. I remembered the time that my father raped me when I was 8 years old. And she had always hated herself, this woman. She said, I love my daddy, it was my fault. And she said, when I did the EMDR, I saw myself, and I saw this little scrawny 8-year-old. And I saw this huge guy lying on top of it, smelling of alcohol, smelly, hairy, sweaty, disgusting. How can a big, disgusting guy do something like that to a little girl like her? And the moment that she really accurately saw what had happened to her back then, with her adult mind, she said, it wasn't my fault. That is a terrible person who should never have done that to that little girl. And she was great in a few sessions. And so that's one of the things that opened me up to EMDR.